Hi everyone and welcome to Mattocks, Handmade in Nottingham, and welcome to our small workshop where we will be making a key fob or key holder or a nice leather product to hold all your keys and keep them safe. So you will notice in your kit that you have two pieces of leather. One of them has the Mattocks Handmade in logo embossed on in silver, and one of them is plain. If you ordered a custom message, you may have a message on this part. So we do have options coming up in the future where you can order your gift with a message written on one side. So if that's the case, you will have one with a message and one with the logo. Today we are just working on the standard key caddy, which has a logo on one side. So you'll notice you have three pieces of leather. So you have two triangular shapes with a curve on the bottom. You have this long strip which has a few holes either side, two on each side. And inside your kit, you will have what we call a trigger hook, a split ring, and also a set of Chicago screws. So Chicago screws are a really nice way to make products. We source all our hardware from Italy, so they're all chrome plated. And this is the side of the screw that you want to see. It's got a slightly domed cap. This is the female part of the screw. And you also have the threads, the male part of the screw, which will go inside the female part. So you'll have two different sets of screws. You'll also have a screwdriver in your kit. Now this is one of our starter kits, so if you're not feeling very confident with leather work, this is a really good one to start with. This is one of our easiest kits and workshops, so they're very achievable and they don't take too long to make. So it's a good introduction into leather work, how to attach hardware, how to use split rings, and how to use Chicago screws, and how to assemble a simple leather product that looks really effective and looks really good quality once you've completed it. So to begin with, the leather has a right side and a wrong side. So you'll notice the leather side has more of the colour of the leather. Today we're working in chestnut. These are available in different colours, but today I'll be making a chestnut one. So yours might be a slightly different colour, or maybe you had a message included on yours. But today we're working in chestnut. So to begin with, what you want to do is fold these over. So you want the right side of the leather to be on either side. You don't want to have the wrong side of the leather on one side and the right side of the leather on the other. So make sure on either side that you see the nice quality side of the leather. And we're going to begin with one of the female studs, one of the female Chicago screws, and we're just going to pop that all the way through the two layers. So it'll go through the first one and also the second piece of leather. So what you can do now by hand is just to add the male counterpart. So just try to find the thread, and then you can use your screwdriver included to tighten up your screw. And then that's the first part that we want to put together. The next screw you want to do is this one, but before we do that, what we want to do is slide our other leather piece in between, because this can be difficult to do later on. So we want to slide that in between at this stage. So you'll notice either side it has two holes. They're both of equal distance, so it doesn't matter what side you put this round. but I would recommend you don't have the wrong side of the leather next to the side that you want to see. So I'm working on one that has the logo, so I want the right side of the leather to match. You might have one that has a message on the back, and you might want the leather to match on the side where you have a message. It's up to you if you have gone for this option, but for today, I want the sides of the leather to match on this side, because I don't want to see any of the back of the leather on the side that is meant to be the front. So when you have all that in position, I would just slide it down just to make sure you can see both ends. And now we are ready to put another screw in this side and through to the other side of leather to trap that strap in between. And just by hand, you can add another screw, trying to connect it to the thread. And then you can tighten it up by hand once it's connected. You might have some screwdrivers at home you want to use as well that you find easier. If you struggle with the ones included in the kit, do use any screws or screwdrivers or tools that you have at home. So, you can personalize these if you want to, if you have more experience with tools or fittings or fixtures or leather craft. Now that we have those two in place, you simply need to work down either side to close that triangle on either side. You might decide you want to see the screws on this side, or you might decide you want to see them on this side. It's sometimes personal taste. Sometimes people prefer a more industrial look. So just try to line them up on the other side and then continue to add the screws as you go along. So I just need to squeeze this one together a bit more. And exactly the same on the other side. Just continue to work around. And the last one before we do something a little bit different. So it's the last one in this corner. And again, you can swivel them by hand. And then there you go. So we have our key caddy almost ready, but now we need to add our hardware. So I'm going to start with the top, and we're going to add our trigger hook or swivel hook. So this hook will turn. And what you want to do is you want to pop a screw, the female part, the side you're going to see through there. And you want to slide it through your trigger hook about halfway between the holes. And then you want to pinch it over, and you might want to wiggle this part a little bit just to make sure you can get this screw through to the other side. And again, now you can pop your screw. This can be a bit more tricky because you're trying to hold the leather down at the same time. So it might take you a few goes to get that connected. While you're trying to hold it and screw at the same time. I'm just going to press that down again, just so I can get a better angle at this screw. And then I've finally got it. So it might take a few attempts if you've not done this before. So just take your time. So this will also stop your strip from coming through the leather. So that's now securely in place, and this can be clipped onto a belt loop or another key ring. But now you can also do the same on the other side, but with your split ring. So now, again, you can put your finished screw through this side, so the side that you want to see on this part of the leather. And you can either put the ring in now or later. It's really up to you, because this is a split ring, so it will open up if you want to put it in later. So if you're having any problems holding everything at once, you can put this in later. But I'm going to try to do it now, all in one go, which is a bit more tricky because it's a bit of a circular shape as well. So you just really need to pinch that together, and you really need to squash it and try and hold it into position while you add your screw. And you've just got to try to get it to catch onto the thread as you're holding everything together. So this is where it gets a little bit harder, and it might take a few attempts, but eventually you'll get there, and then you can tighten it up until it makes a secure closure. So that is your leather key caddy. So what you would do is, you might want to start to open this leather slightly by putting your fingers inside. So your keys will go inside. So when you're not using your keys, they'll go inside, and you can clip them to a bag, or you can clip them to a belt loop. And when you want your keys, you can pull them out, and you can use them as you would normally. So to attach your keys, you simply need to open the split ring. So these will open really easily. It's the same, really similar style as any key ring. It's just a bit of a nicer, flatter design. So rather than the basic standard split ring. So that is how you make your key caddy. Just don't forget at the end, just to start to give it some shape, because it'll be easier to slide all your keys inside and out again. The leather is quite stiff to begin with, because it's genuine leather. It's new leather, so once you've used it a few times, it will loosen up and be a bit more friendly. So there is your key caddy. Now you might find that you have a couple of screws left over. So don't panic, you've not missed anything. It's just we often add a couple of spares just in case you drop any, or you drop any on the floor and they might fall down a crack. So to save you trying to find new screws, we often add a few spares. So don't worry if you have a few left over, it's just part of the kit. So well done everyone, and congratulations on making your first leather kit. Well done.